Do is just run through my goal setting ideas, because I think it's the thing that everyone doesn't do, and it's the main thing that gets you to where you want to be. In my mind, if you're in a car and you want to go somewhere and you've got no destination, then how the fuck do you know how to get there? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Whereas if you have your destination, even if you go the wrong way, you can still fucking get there with enough fucking creativity. I was actually writing a goal setting sheet and I was like, fuck this. I was like, everyone does this bullshit smart goals. They got to be specific, measurable. I don't even know what smart means. You're overcomplicating something that's super simple. Write down your fucking goals and go get after it. But let me break it down into a little bit more. And some of this will be a bit like about me, which isn't ideal, but I think it's a good case study for you guys to have. It's just like, these are the goals that I've set. This is the shit that's I've got from it. Essentially, goals are the biggest thing. Like I said, all we want to do is fucking map out our goals and we'll fucking get there. So initially, like, these are just my goals from 2021. I wrote them down on my phone, and there's some elements of it that will change. You know, some people might argue that if you have too many goals that you won't achieve all of them, but I'm like, I'm not in this game to fucking give myself like limited outcome. I want to give myself as much opportunity and as much potential as possible. And maybe it takes you a little bit longer to get there because you're keeping your options open and you're being open to new ideas. But I don't really agree with that way of thinking. I'd rather have a big, broad mindset, a big funnel open of ideas, avenues, and abundance, essentially, to get there. So all of this shit, have a motocross bike to zip around on, be able to work almost anywhere, work-life balance, sunny and by the sea, sports, diving, wakeboarding, spearfishing, surfing, fun times, tattoos, sales, model, barber, fashion, video and edit everything on YouTube and Instagram, go to model castings, run, eat, gym, great combo. It's like, some of it's trash, right? I'm not going to say it's fucking perfect, but I just wrote these down because I know that if I have them written down, I've made like a commitment to myself as to what I'm going to achieve. And pretty much all of that, apart from writing a book, I've done maybe 4 pages of my book, I've achieved. I've eaten sea bass ceviche. I don't know why it's still in there. I just like the food. Walking after dinner was just a reminder. But the rest of it is pretty much on point. So for me, I know it's not that deep. But just writing down your goals in a quick little note and being able to look back on them, not deleting the note, I think is a very powerful thing, because I think it's a Conor McGregor quote. Like, actually, I think it's from The Secret. The book The Secret. I haven't read it, but I know McGregor says it. Like, if you can think about it, if you can create the vision in your mind and then you can speak it, then it will come true. And for me, I always have a different way of looking at things. I think if it's in my brain, then I write it down and then I speak it, whether that's on your phone, whether that's in a sheet, whether that's on a whiteboard, whether it's on a piece of paper. It doesn't fucking matter where you get it, but as long as it doesn't stay in your brain, it will fucking happen. This is my vision board from the same time. I've changed a little bit now. Like, I'm like, the Rolex right now, it's a 30 grand Rolex. It would be a fucking bad financial decision to even fucking consider it. And also, I don't even wear a watch anymore. So in my mind, I'm a bit like, cool, I can get over that. The materialistic stuff is kind of withered out a bit. I don't know if you guys are in a similar position where, for me, my lifestyle, being able to do sports, having the day how I want it to be planned out, being able to gym, surf, scuba dive, go on trips is way more important to me than having a fucking flashy watch. But that's just me. I've sort of got to the point where I used to wear loads of gold rings. I used to have loads of piercings. I used to have like a nice watch. And then I was like, bruv, who am I kidding? Like, I don't care about this shit. Like, for me, what I actually want is to be able to wake up and be the master of my own destiny and the architect of my own life. So again, if you have a vision board with 12 different little screenshots on and you achieve half of them, for me, that's a win-win anyway. Anyway, moving on. I've done this in the course, but this is what I've just put down for my goals. I've done them in different colors just so you can see, like, it's not priority, but it's like green is primary, yellow is secondary, and then red is tertiary. So again, for me, I know that some of these are going to be potentially unachievable in the year. Some of them are going to be, unachievable in a couple of years. But again, I just want them written down. And I've tried to highlight the ones that I think are the most important. So for me, the ones that are most important is keep closing deals. Next up is content creation, editing, outsourcing, coaching, SOPs, docs, resources, and sports. That's the area I want to improve in. And all I've done is what the goal is with the different types of goals. You can edit these yourself if you want it to be, slightly different. I just see these as all the areas of my life that I want to set goals for. So you set the goal, keep it simple. Don't need to deep it that much, because you'll end up procrastinating on your goal setting sheet when really you could be putting that time into achieving your goal. So it just take you like 10 minutes, maybe a bit longer if you've got to think about them. And then why? It ain't that deep. This isn't a closing call for a customer. You don't need to sell yourself on your goals. You've already got it. So for me, like, write and direct a screenplay or a short film is because I like directing. Like, let's not over engineer something that doesn't need to be done. Social media brand needs to be built. Like, as you can see, like, I'm not going too far into it because I don't want to fucking get too into it. There's a lot of ways to procrastinate in life. And for me, the easiest way to not procrastinate is to essentially write less, do less, consume less, and just create more. How? Obviously, like, that's what it says in the tin. How am I going to do it? When? Like, when does it need to get done? The milestone is kind of like, where do I think when I'm on this journey, where I think, oh, okay, I'm on the way to getting there. Or this is when I know that I've achieved it. And then the target date. Again, you can see it's still pretty loose. Not fucking trying to change the world here or reinvent the wheel. But for me, it's just a few things that I know that I have this written down. I'll keep it written down. And that at the end of the year, I can go back and review it. And then I can see my progress. You might have a different style of learning than I do. So you might find that you need 5 milestones, or you need a reverse engineered month by month tracker. So you're like, well, if I want to get to 250K on Instagram, that means I need to grow by X amount per month. And to grow X amount per month, I need to do X amount of content. Like, you can do that as well. And I can write that out if you actually need it. But for me, the proof is always in the work. And a lot of people are looking for the outcome without doing the work. So for me, I'm a big believer of just do the fucking work. Input is output. Bon. This is me for this year. But these are just ones I wrote down. Like, I haven't really thought about them that much. I'm not gonna hold myself to them, but I know that I've written them down. 1 million in assets as investments in the next 5 years. Build YouTube to 1 million subscribers and Instagram to 1 million followers. Make travel a cornerstone of a personal brand. Grow an e-commerce business. You get the picture. I'm not going to spoon feed you because you can read, but it's just things that I think I'd like to do in the next 5 years. And then the 2025 goals is a reflection of these. But this is what I'd already written previously. And as you can see, like, I already had Instagram with 25K followers. I already almost doubled that. So for me, I didn't go out of my way to hit that goal. I just gave myself a goal, which was approximately 5 times the amount of followers I had when I set the goal. And I already hit it without too much of a strategy, without too much of a plan. But what I did do was just fucking work. And the rest of this stuff, I reckon I've already done the top one. Meditation is a daily thing. The trips will get ticked off throughout the year. Vacation, we'll see. YouTube might just hit on a random one. Like, a lot of these things that are in here, I could buy this stuff now, but it's not important. I just want it in there so that I know when I go back to it, it's just what I want to do. This makes sense to everyone. I know it's not like the traditional way of setting goals and to frame stuff, but it's how I like to do so. So I don't know if anyone's got any thoughts on it so far.
I think it's great. Actually, I would have set less goals because I can be so diversified, Like, I have to focus on certain things first and then go to others. But I mean, the idea of how you work it, I believe that's great.
What I've done previously, and I would do now, but I don't have a whiteboard, is I have all my goals like this, and then I usually pick 3 things that I need to do in order to make sure that I get to my goals. So what I've had traditionally would be the number 1 priority I'd have is my brain, like to meditate, to look after it, to think about how I think, to reflect on my day. So number 1 would always be the brain. Number 2 would be exercise, and then number 3 is usually diet. And I know they're super basic goals, but I know for me, everything starts from the foundations. So if I keep care of my brain and I meditate and I look after how my brain thinks, my mental health, and I make sure I'm in shape and I eat well, all of those 3 things are like the foundation to achieve the rest of this. That's how I look at it. It's like more of a macro view, as opposed to getting really granular and really in depth. I appreciate some people are going to have more analytical minds or need stuff more planned out, but I just know that procrastination is a real thing. But you raise a good point. Like, less can be more. However, who wants less?
Eventually it's gonna have to grow.
This is another big thing about goal setting and belief systems. So this photo is fairly irrelevant, but for me, setting your goals come down to how much you believe in yourself. So I've always wanted to fully work online. I've always wanted to build businesses, always wanted to build a personal brand. And one of the first things I started to do to fucking commit to myself that I was going to do that was to hashtag my own name. So here was the first time I hashtagged my own name, and fucking everyone laughed. Not everyone, a lot of people laughed at it. It became a bit of a running joke with my friends at home. It was a bit of like a what the fuck are you doing moment for people. And in my mind, I was like, I just don't give a fuck. Like, I know what I'm going to do is going to work. How I'm going to get there, we'll find that out along the way. But I know if I start making these commitments to myself and essentially everyone else, I know that I'll get there. That was like 4 years ago. And I still do it to this day because I know that it has value and I know that it's something that I have to do to build my personal brand. And there's a lot of things like this, which maybe you have that's different in your life, and we can cover those in a minute. But I know that the best way for me to educate you guys on belief systems, goal setting, is to just give you my own experience. Next one is this. I maybe go too far with my belief system sometimes. So Western Boulevard is the clothing brand I started a few years ago. I started 5 businesses about 3-4 years ago because I wanted to see which ones worked the best, which ones I liked, which ones were easiest to make money, which ones were most of a ball ache. And what I found that what I loved the most was clothing brand. So what we got, this is my clothing brand, Western Boulevard. It's years old. I don't know how long ago it was started. So I just started here posting fucking little bits. This was 15th of July, 2022. So what's that? 2.5 years ago-ish, maybe a little bit more. And I just started it because I want a clothing brand, and I want to, figure out what I want to do with my life and how I want to operate it. And as I started it, all I started was these random photos that I'd taken when I was on a photo shoot, living in Tulum, another photo shoot. Like, all of these are just random pics. But what they did is they were the instigator into me getting more done. So I know that, like, Hermano, for example, like, got offered a job the other day, and obviously he'd been putting in the work, but as soon as he started investing into himself in sales coaching, the job comes up. So I believe a lot of it is about basically putting it out to the universe, putting it out to everyone around and making it real. Because with this, I haven't sold an item of this clothing because I didn't want to, but I've given it all out for free to my mates, did loads of photo shoots with it, and I still have the tops now, I still have the towels now, I still have loads of the little bits. But what I did do to make the commitment to myself that this was going to be a forever thing is I got it fucking tattooed on my fingers. Because I know that when I do something, I just go all in. Like, even if it doesn't work, it doesn't fucking matter. And as you can see, the tattoos got a bit fucked because I got them done, came to Bali and went surfing, and they kind of fell out. Again, having it on your phone background screen as well. Like, you really have to believe this shit if you want it to happen. And although I know that this hasn't blown up and it hasn't happened, it's still in the forefront of my mind. Like I said here, there you go, Western Boulevard. It's still in the goals. It's still there. This is all for Western Boulevard. So all of the write and direct to short film is for the content for Western Boulevard, because that's how I want to do the content in the future, is in short film form. Next one is Coco. Coco was one of my maybe like 3 businesses ago. I built a content agency. And again, I got it tattooed because I fucking went all in. Put it as my phone screen background because I went all in. And again, you'll probably be like, maybe this one didn't work, otherwise it'd still be going. You're right, like, it didn't work, but for me, there's nothing fucking worse than not giving something a go. So this was what we did for some of these brands. So Oscar and Frank, We did brands for their we did shoots for their sunglasses. It went well. They didn't even pay us. They just sent me free glasses. Southwest Projects, similar sort of thing. We just got their clothes, we shot content, and it was a content agency. While I was in the UK, it was going pretty well for a while, because being in the UK, you can get all of this stuff sent to you, and then you can shoot it. Moving to Bali doesn't help because you can't do all of this stuff without a right visa. But for me, it was all just part of the process. Committed to it. Like, Crafted is a big brand, and they sent me loads of jewelry to shoot. Whether or not they use it, it doesn't really matter to me. These guys, Gym Rag, these guys came off the back of all of this stuff that I did for free. These guys paid me $3,000 for this video. Like, we did a full shoot for them. We did content for their Amazon. We did content for their YouTube. We did content for their Instagram. And I just modeled in it with my mate's girlfriend. Wasn't that deep. I got my mate to edit it, paid me $3,000. Easy money. And I'm not like just trying to show you all of my past businesses. I'm just trying to show you that you have to fucking really believe that shit's going to happen if you want it to happen. I just missed that bit. I don't know where that was. This was another brand that I was working with. Where the fuck did that go? Cool. So this is when me and my video editor went to Rome. So we got hired by one of like a B2B finance product to go to Italy and just shoot content, because we went all in on it. Same with this. Started doing real estate as well. So there's always transitions. There's always shit you're going to have to do in your life where, you know, it doesn't fucking go perfectly, and you have to pivot and you have to swivel. But I think that's one of the things about the belief is, if the goal doesn't necessarily go as well as you want, or the plan doesn't go as necessarily as well as you want, you just fucking pivot and you get it going. And this is what happened with Coco. When I came here to Bali, I ended up trying to make it a viral e-commerce ad agency, and flipped up the marketing, changed the website, did a whole different, basically, business. And it flopped because I hadn't done the research, didn't really work. I don't know if this website's still live or not. But you get the point. My point is, by going all in and having the belief that something will work, the worst thing that can happen is it doesn't work. And it's the same with sales. It's the same with closing deals. It's the same with getting a new role. It's the same with your whole life. Because regardless of sales and closing, you need the belief systems in place to fucking get after it regardless. You don't need to tattoo fucking shit on your hands to make it real. But for me, the best way to make it real is to fucking get it everywhere. And sooner or later, like, something will give. Again, I'm probably getting to the fucking tail end of giving you proof of concept. But 3rd of January, I took the screenshot. Actually, no, this one's better. August 23, 2023, 8,000 followers. I actually lost, 1,000 followers in basically a year and a bit. And then all I did, I invested in a personal branding coach. Cost me $2.5K USD. Then a month later, well, now it's about 2 months later, but a month later it blew up. 6 weeks later, I'm now on 43K. So I've basically gone from 7K to 43. I don't know what the numbers are on that. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35. So 6x'd what I had originally, just from fucking believing in it, just from putting in the work, with no strategy, with no plan, with no fucking, it's not like there's no care in it, but there's just, I know that it's very hard to fight against massive action. Like, there's what is it? The 3rd rule of, I need to fucking remember this one. Basically, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So if you put in fucking massive effort, sooner or later, something massive will happen. If you don't put in any effort, nothing will happen. And for me, a big part of it is the phone background. Like, again, I don't advise from getting shit tattooed, but having the logo as your phone screen background, having these little affirmations as your phone background, having fucking a little bit of a quote that you like, or things that you're known for, will just inspire you to keep on fucking getting shit done. So my current one is the one on the right. What I've always had is this one in the middle, but I found it wasn't strong enough. It was too loose. It wasn't actually giving me any actionable shit. So I moved it to here. You're the sum of the work that you put in. The more content you create, the more people know about you. The more they know, the more they love. And then these are the 3 or 4 names that I have been known by. So I just wanted to have them out again to make it real. But I'll definitely make this way more interactive when we do it next time, because I feel like I'm just talking to a screen and you guys are sat there. It's like fucking being at school. But no one's perfect, so we'll work on it. Why 1 million is the number for me. So I don't know if you guys know, but maybe, what was it now? 4 years ago or something, I wanted to stop drinking because I was just a fucking party boy. And like everyone has the party boy phase, but sooner or later, unless you're a fucking animal and you can work well hungover all the time, the hangovers and the fucking weekend millionaire lifestyle that I thought I had. And I know Alex, we spoke about that earlier, like getting on the weekend, spending dough and getting real generous. You end up feeling like you've got more money to spend than you actually do. And that was me. So all I said was, I'm going to fucking stop drinking until I either hit 1 million followers online or hit £1 million in revenue in a year with a business. And what I did was I got a bottle of whiskey that I was actually gifted by a friend. I put it in my parents' attic in their loft. And I just left it there with 2 cigars. I was like, when I hit 1 million, in whichever format, the followers or the revenue, I'll consider drinking it then. But until then, I won't do anything. And, I'm not there yet, but I'm still fucking 2 years, a month and 18 days, no alcohol. So for me, again, this is just another like belief system that I had to fucking uncover, was that I could quit boozing. I could quit, the party boy lifestyle, and I could commit to fucking making my life what I want it to be. And by no means am I close to the 1 million yet, but I'm definitely a fucking lot closer than I was. So the homework. We're going back to school. I feel like maybe you guys will correct me on this, but I kind of like having an element of accountability for you folks, because as much as you can sit here and watch the course and join the calls, you've got to put in the work. So what I've done, I've added it into the course as well. You've got the goal sheet, which I've left my bits in because maybe you want to use them as inspo, but make a copy of this, highlight it. All you need to do to get rid of this is highlight this, press reset, and press backspace, and it will fucking clear. But I'll keep it in case you want it. And then keep this safe, because at the end we have the actual result. Did you get the result? And then what prevented success? So we can keep a bit more of a level of accountability with it. As well as that, I've got an architect of your life sheet. So most people are in a similar boat. They want to get out of their role. They want to find a new role. But like, have you actually gone into the depths of what you want to be doing and what your life looks like? When I speak to a lot of people, not just you folks, but I feel like you're not 100% clear on what you want all the time. So for me, it's really helpful. Like, this is something my aunt always used to tell me to do. And I've got notes on my phone still from like 2018 when I lived in Mexico. And I'm just writing out all of these questions. Where do I want to live? What kind of home do I want to live in? Who do I want to surround myself with daily? How do I make money? What skills do I need? How do I express my creativity? Like, all of these are very tailored to me, because I use ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is very kind of Western. So there might be some elements of it, like what kind of personal brand am I building is more relevant to me than it is to you. But you can either change that, or you can just do personal brand as in your physical personal brand. Like, who does Jim want to be, seen as? Who does Hermano want to be seen as to the world? Who does Alex want to be seen as? So some of these, there'll be little bits you can change. But I think as a whole, having these written down, getting clear on what the fuck you want, how you want to get there, is fucking imperative. Because with this, what you'll find is you might even fucking look at it and be like, you know what? I fucking don't even want to do sales. Hopefully you don't, but you might. You might be like, fuck it, I want to become a firefighter because that's what I'm kind of like leaning towards. Whatever it is, I think it's very helpful for you guys to have a plan, have a structure. And even if this changes, it really doesn't matter. But making it real, getting it written down, and then you can in here from that. What I will try and do is make it so it's a little bit more succinct, but I quite like the amount of question, because it's going to make you think. Like Alex, when we spoke earlier, I asked you what do you care about, and it took you a minute to talk about it.
Yeah,
which I like. You know, you've got to think about it, and all I want to do is try and probe that, so you guys are thinking about it more. And I know you mentioned about like looking after your mental health more. Well, the best thing for me, for my mental health, apart from meditating, is trying to fucking figure out who I am and what I want to do, because that's all it really boils down to. Like, how well do you know yourself? And the only way to know yourself is to start asking yourself these fucking questions.
Yeah.
Then, if you want, you don't have to change your phone background. You don't have to do any of this, to be fair. It's all on you. But I'd advise you to change your phone background to be affirmations-based, inspiration-based, your vision board, whatever it is, and then bang a screenshot of all three in the accountability chat. And then final thing is, if you really want to fucking go in, get a tattoo of something you care about. Cool. I see the flaws in that presentation because it was like a fucking a school sitting. So feel free to give me some feedback. But I don't know what you guys think about the way I structure it as a whole. But for me, I know that the best way that I can teach is by doing what I've done personally.
Yeah, I like that aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
I
good.
like it. Will you upload it to any of the section of the course?
It should already be in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's one bit about I've added another section in about goal setting, and it has all of these things in. I don't know if it has that in. No, it must have that in. I'll just double check. But yeah, I don't know what you guys think, because when I read this, all I think is about it's all about me, which isn't the goal, because it's meant to be all about you, and it's meant to make you think about your goals and what you want to do. So for me, I think it's helpful to show you guys the journey that I've been on a bit more. But let me know if there's anything in there that you think would have been more helpful. Apart from a tissue for Alex.
Yeah. So I got allergies.
So I'm allergic to bullshit.
That's it.
Cool. That presentation wasn't perfect, so give me some fucking feedback. What do you think about it?
I think it's great, the idea of you first telling all the speech, showing the goals and so on. Maybe by making it more interactive, like I don't know, asking us which our goals are, how are we gonna make it. I mean, if we have already visualized something, I mean, nothing to know, but I don't know, maybe that would make it more interactive. You know?
It definitely needs some interaction, for sure.
I think that maybe make a change.
Cool. Thanks. Well, I'll definitely add that in because it needs it. But for you guys, I don't know if you've already set your goals out, but for me, the main thing is the questions, is actually giving yourself the answers to those questions so you can dictate and design what your life will look like. I don't know if you've done anything like that before, where you question yourself on different topics.
I haven't. Actually.
No.
No, I mean, I do some goal setting, but not by asking questions to myself. Like just knowing what I want, not really asking me anything. Like why, for example, how.
Yeah. Okay.
Those are something that I have to do.
Nice. Jimmy, very quiet.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed the presentation. I think I think it makes it more believable that it's quite close to your story or to yourself, so that it worked for someone else, the goal setting. So I quite enjoyed it.
Nice. And I know, like, it's not completely related to getting into sales, but for me, getting into sales has never been like the issue. It's always been what I've done. So I know that yours might be a bit different. Like you want to close X amount number of deals, or you want to get in a better paying role, or you want to get a role initially. So as long as you make them tailored to yourself, I think, well, I'd love to see them basically, because I know that with the onboarding calls, we haven't had one yet, Jim, but most of the time with the onboarding calls with all of the guys, it's literally just been what are your goals, more or less. What do you want to learn? How do you want to get there? What's your timeline? And then we can move forward from that. Because for me, it's like, as much as I can help you guys get there, if I know what you're trying to get to as a personal and professional level, like we can just get there quicker, because I think this is what this is about. Like I've spent the last, I don't know, 10 years trying to, build something properly. And there's been so many mistakes along the way. So I feel like the most value that I can give you is helping you to get to where you want to be without spending 10 years to get there. Because that's what everyone wants, really. They want their fucking shit to come sooner rather than later. Feliz Navidad. Right.
One of the emails you wrote, hermano, literally, I saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot.
It's your name. I can't fucking help it. I might have to change it on the on Circle.
Yeah. The identity, the ID.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I know it's been short and sweet, but really that's it for me. I just want to get the goals out. It's all in the course. If you want any links to anything, you can. And if you want to book a one-to-one, or Jim, if you want to book an onboarding call, we can go through this together. We can make it real, and then we can fucking make it happen.
Yeah, I booked mine for tomorrow.
Bomb. Perfect. All right, cool. Well, apart from that, I'm going to love you and leave you for now, unless you got any questions.
I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Grind Club. Love that top. That's a joke. Fair. Maybe we fucking... I should probably get some Cowboy Closers t-shirts out for all the founding members.
Oh, yeah. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
All right. I'll add that to my fucking goal list. Easily done.
The logo.
That'll be fucking jokes. What's closer in Spanish is cerrado?
Yeah, close means to cerrar. That's like the verb. So, yeah, you're a sales closer, you're a cerrador de tratos.
Yeah. It doesn't roll as well, does it? It's closer in English.
No, closer is far more professional than...
Okay, cool. Well, I think that's it for today's call. If you got any questions, DM me. If you need anything else, we'll fucking hit it. And I thank you for watching it.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye for now.